my people. All right, what you got?
Lance, getting a lot of work, it looks like, with your DBs here early in spring practice. How are they holding up?
We got some new additions, of course, Meach Powell, Savion Riley. Then we got a couple freshmen who are doing good. Saquon, of course, Patterson and Dylan Day. So a little bit of growing pains for the young guys, but I think they're making some plays. Today, Dylan Day had a good day. Yesterday he did, and Saquon probably had a better day yesterday. So the other guys are catching on pretty good. Meach is probably playing the strongest out of the guys that just came in, but yeah, really pleased. Just a little thin in a couple spots.
Can you talk about the issue that we're getting today?
Yeah, he's really, really smart. Of course, he's played a lot of ball games. He's played some really big ball games, the biggest ball game in college football. So there's not a lot that he hasn't seen. It's just he's trying to adjust the terminology and a couple of different things, the way we play it. But he's going to be a really good, really impact player for us.
How do you feel about the depth of quarterback right now? Obviously, some guys left, draft, and everything. How do you feel about where you guys are at depth-wise?
Well, we've got a couple injuries, which is hurting us right now. I think we're down to maybe 4 corners. So anytime you're down to 4 corners, you start to get tired, and we're having to use a couple safeties to play with the 3. So, hopefully we'll get Brown back after the spring break, and so that add another guy, and of course we got a couple freshmen on here yet. So we'll add some depth if we need to in this offseason if we need. So I feel good, but right now it's not good.
And then you guys added, Chavis Jackson as a defensive cornerbacks coach. Obviously, you worked with him in the past. What was that process like when you guys brought him in? And how much did you advocate for him, and how was it like working with him together?
Well, I had 2 cornerback coaches while I was at Marshall. First guy left, and then we had a chance to hire whoever we wanted that was available, and kind of knew Chavis from when he played at LSU, who he'd been coached by, Corey Raymond, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, Bo Pelini, all those guys. So he came from a good pedigree, played in the NFL, and then I saw it firsthand. Our corners probably played the best at Marshall that year, my last year there, so I know what he can do, and he's already made a difference with our corners here. So really good teacher, very motivated guy, and I think he'll do a good job recruiting.
It seems like Jaden, Harris, and Savion are going first team.
Yeah.
We can see. How are they doing, and just what are they bringing to the team?
Good. Harris is probably the most improved player, I think, on the defense right now. But he's got a lot of confidence. He's not sitting behind 2 older guys, Cam Kitchen, and of course, my big safety boundary guy, James Williams. Sorry, James. But he's played last year. Harris has played. So right now he's playing the boundary safety, but I'm moving to some field safety as well, and keep swapping him with Savion and just add those young guys in there as well.
What is Savion bring?
Savion's long. He's got good top end speed. Right now he's trying to learn everything. I think he's a little tired today. Kind of got on him. But we're getting a little thin, but he's smart and rangy, and he's a really good tackler. So that's what we saw when he played today.
Do you coach Meach strictly as a nickel?
No, he's a field safety as well. So when we play base, when we bring the sandbacker in, we'll play the free safety. But when we go to nickel, he becomes the nickel.
How are the other guys in free safety, the corner, or vice versa?
Dylan Day's one of the guys that's been playing out there who I think I have a chance, but he's young. Right now he's playing nickel, free safety, and corner. So he's playing a lot of reps at a lot of different positions. He's probably the only one inside that I think can do it. Maybe Markeith Williams. He's been doing well too. Markeith's having the first good 3 days, so I'm really excited about him as well.
How about Jadis and his opportunity? This spring saw the oven mitts come on.
He's doing good. We've been holding a little bit, so we try to put the oven mitts on to keep him from holding. But he's probably, I've seen the most improvement at corner from the fall. So he's doing really well. Him and Coach Jackson. Coach Jackson's kind of a tall corner that he played, so it kind of relates to him.
Coach, the energy's been really high. How does it feel to be able to be back for a second year here and being able to coach those guys again?
Well, most of the guys know the defense, which is good. So you're not having to install a whole new defense. Of course, we hired a defensive back coach that already knows the system, so I didn't have to teach the defensive back the system, coach the system. So it's a lot better. It's a lot cleaner. We've had 3 good days. Quarterback is really hard to defend. He's going to be a really good football player. He extends plays, so I'm really excited and like where we're at, but we need to make a step further when we come back from spring break.
Obviously, hard to talk about DBs, but looking at the linebackers, who among that young group from last year's class is going to make the biggest jump, biggest improvement?
Probably Popo. Popo's running with the ones. I also think Wesley's improved drastically. Kiko's not going right now, so they're getting a lot of reps. So Bobby, I think Washington will do well, and then keep your eyes on Bobby Pruitt. That guy's going to be a really good football player. So excited about those guys, and then each and every week one guy improve, and we'll go from there. Just try to create as much depth as we can.
We didn't ask you yet about Ryder Austin. You had him at Marshall for that 1 year. Just
very fast kid, kind of like a big linebacker. He's going to rush the passer well. Knows the system. Another guy that's familiar with it, so he didn't have to learn a lot. I think he'll make a big impact. If you look at his highlights from at Marshall last year, probably was his best year. I had him a couple of years ago. My last year there, he was kind of beat up a little bit. He had a bad ankle. The year before, he was a lot more productive, but last year was off the charts. So, I think he'll make a big impact as well.
You got 2 D tackles, obviously. You got a linebacker. The older guys.
We had a pick 6 today. CJ had a pick 6. Really? So that was good. Morley is doing really well. Morley's a little bit shorter, compact guy, but he's a big effort guy. He was a wrestler, throughout high school. Really strong kid with great leverage. So excited about both of those additions.
One area would you like to improve on the most, or what would make you most excited going to this season?
Probably just making fewer mistakes schematically, gap fits, coverage stuff, quarterback scrambling and staying on our routes, what we call plastering, which our quarterback's doing a good job of extended plays, so we're having to stay in coverage longer, which is good because it's going to happen. So, the last game we didn't play the run well against Rutgers. We were a little short-handed, but I thought we played the run for the most part, but just not giving up a bunch of big runs and big plays. You got to stop them. Just get the guys tackled and start the chains again, and you always have a chance.
You guys probably had an assessment of the D-line. Is it something, though, that you think going forward you guys can switch in and out of because of what the success you had last year?
It just depends on what our numbers look like. We're trying to get the best players on the field, so we're doing a lot of things out of that structure, not necessarily that personnel, but some of the things that we did. We're doing it out of the full down because a guy like Elijah Alston can do that. So a guy like Marquise Lightfoot can do that. So trying to stay as multiple as we can with the same personnel. That way the box don't know we're changing personnel and what's coming.
What are your thoughts on Cam Ward so far in defending him?
It's tough. He's going to be a really good football player. He's very poised. You can't rattle him. He's seen everything before, and we got something to him. You can tell he's a natural leader. He likes to compete, and I think he can win a bunch of ball games for us. Oh, it helps us when you got a quarterback that's athletic and moves around. You got to stay in coverage longer. It changes your pass rush lanes to where you can't just free rush on a guy. So it's going to help us. Right now we're probably not as good as we want to be because of him. Because that first of all we can't tackle him. We know that. But another thing, he's moving in and out of the pocket. And you're having to adjust your lane. So he's making it tough on us, but it'll make us a better defense.
How could Ruben Bain take the next step?
Ruben this spring to stay healthy. He did a great job in the weight room. He looks good. He's gained some weight, but he's still explosive and fast. He's strong. So just trying to get him to the fall, get him to Saturday. I think that he's probably got a little bit better pass rush moves right now than he had. He's been working on, you can tell. So I'm excited to see what kind of year he can have. He got back like Messidor, really helped him. On the other side, with Elijah, maybe a couple more additions, it'll free up Ruben a lot. So,
do you see him staying at defensive end, or will he ultimately become a defensive tackle?
He'll stay at defensive end for us. I won't move him because he brings a different dynamic there. Depends who drafts him. If he gets drafted, he goes to a 3-4 system. I can see him playing a 4. He can play outside, but I think he'll end up being inside on that level. I think he'll end up being a 3-tech. If you ask me, I'm not saying he can't play outside, but if you ask me what I think he is, truthfully, I think he's probably going to be a great 3-tech in the NFL.
I know Ruben's part of that freshman class of the year, but is there another guy besides him taking a big step from year one?
It's too early to tell. I think a couple of the true freshmen, got a chance to make an impact. I don't know if anybody can make an impact like Ruben did. He's pretty special. Not saying they can, but it's pretty special. Well, Saquon has got probably one of the hardest positions on defense, which is safety. They're the quarterbacks of the defense, so he has to make all the checks. He's got to make sure everything's right, so it's just harder to play as a freshman playing a safety position, whereas a defensive lineman, it's a little bit ears back and go. But on the back end, if you mess up, it's a touchdown. So he's got a taller task. Usually safeties, it takes him probably about a year and a half, get something underneath him. But we're going to try and speed him up, see what he can do. But he definitely has the skill sets to be a difference maker, no doubt.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.